Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mr. Riley coming to you live from the West Coast, the best coast, the West Side. So happy to be here tonight. Man, just a whole bunch of mixed emotions going on. I was over here trying to get some stuff squared away in the studio here. So I'm actually in my regular studio. I have a home studio, some equipment that I have ready to go as well. But this is the main studio. And so we're here. And I was talking to my main man over here to my left, Mr. Daryl Thomas. We were just talking and editing and some stuff. And I was like, you know what? He was like, what, dude? I was like, I should continue to go live just like I was doing a couple of weeks ago on the socials, on the Instagram, and posting little reels and all that kind of good stuff. So with that being said, tonight is the first time. And I guess every night, every Monday, that is, I plan to go live. And so if you're watching, you should be able to watch everything on both of the platforms that I have. So if you're watching over on the YouTube place, let me go over here. If you're watching over at the YouTube and the Facebook, so now I can be able to drop little comments like this if you're watching on Facebook. So let me see if this is going to work for me. Yes. Okay. Man, I was over here playing around. So long story short, and talking about producing every Monday, going live over here at 7 o'clock, which is what I'm going to start doing. I was trying to help make sure my comments were seen, and that was a struggle. So we finally fixed the situation, and now we're able to pull in scenes, engage with all of you who are watching. So if you're watching right now, either on Facebook, you can drop a comment in and I can pop it on the screen, or let me see if I can get rid of this comment now. Okay, there we go. All right, job well done. And then also, if you're watching on the YouTube channel, the comment is gonna pop in like that. And what I should do is kind of make it match. I know it's gonna float away in a hot second, but we're gonna make these YouTube comments appear a little bit differently than the Facebook comments. So let me pop my greeting, my welcome on here just to see what it looks like. Okay, so there we go. So if you have a lot to say, you can do that. And then my friend Daryl, who's in studio, he's like, hello, all of you on the West Coast, live with King James. Now, I don't refer to myself as King James, but he does because I'm his mentor. He wants to kind of do what I'm doing over here. So, and then he also says, sounds good. No echo, my man. Why, thank you, Daryl. I appreciate it. But if you're experiencing the echo, you shouldn't be. Just let me know. Drop it in the comments. But we're here right now, and I got my Stream Deck on point. Let's see, I'm hitting the button. Booyah. Yeah, we're working on all cylinders tonight. So welcome to the show. So as I said a few moments ago, every Monday at 7 o'clock, I plan to go live. And today, I just simply want to have your attention for a couple of minutes because I'm really excited that all of the tech is doing what technology is supposed to do. So first of all, making sure that the audio is nice and crispy and the video is doing what video does, which is produce a scene for you to see either on either one of the platforms, Facebook and on YouTube. So yeah, I thought tonight, real brief, real quick, man, summertime is over. And as I was rolling over here to the studio, I was like, man, I want to go live tonight, but I didn't prepare a whole bunch of scenes and a whole bunch of media. But I just thought about, being a teacher, for me, and those of you who are educators out there, it is the end of summer to the point where, for me, tomorrow, I go back to school. Yeah. End of summer is over for you, boy. Now, tomorrow within my district is an optional day. So I work for one of the largest school districts in the United States, which is the Los Angeles Unified School District. And so tomorrow, our union has bargained what we call an optional day. And you're probably asking, what is an optional day? Well, an optional day is a day for teachers to go back if they want to and do whatever it is they need to do for preparation for the students on Thursday. Okay, so if you show up, hey, you work in your room, get some things squared away, set up your room, clean some stuff, move things around. Whatever you do, if you show up, it's an optional day, hey, you will get paid for it, right? Which is a good thing. So thank you, UTLA, for bargaining that in our agreement. And also it's going to happen at the end of the school year as well, just an optional day to clean up and put things away. And then so that's Tuesday. Wednesday is what you call pupil free. Everyone say pupil free. Pupil free then allows the administrative staff and the teachers, it's supposed to be half and half. So the first half of the day, you can get there and, do all the welcoming back and the PD and blah, 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 go over this, that, and the third. And then the second half of the day, for as long as you need to stay, you can continue to work in your rooms. So like your boy, I'm moving rooms after 13 years. So I'm moving from room 49 over to another comfortable, slightly bigger classroom, room 17. So for me, I have my work cut out because they were doing some things in the library. And guess whose room they used to store some stuff as they replaced the floor and kind of spruce up the library? Just take a guess. You might know him. He might be talking to you right now. That's right. Your boy's room, room 17, which I'm perfectly cool with. I'm not griping. It was staged to hold some of the books and materials that would otherwise be in the library. So hopefully tomorrow I can get in and do some stuff, move some stuff around. But if not, then we'll do what we can and, throughout the upcoming days. So that's the pupil-free day, right? That means kids do not show up, but the school year has begun. That is the official day, which is Thursday, the 13th, okay? August 13th. And then 14th, the kids come back. And good for us, what our school did this year, we planned a shortened day. So the kids are dismissed somewhere around 1:40 or something like that. And that's to allow teachers time to look at the cumulative records for the students. So usually we'll wait until later on in the school year, but we figured, you know what? why not allow time for the teachers to kind of get to know some of their students and just see what they did last year? So we have Thursday and Friday. Those are two shortened days. So that's what's going down this first full week of school. But man, I was just thinking about that. Returning back to school, that means summertime is over. But what I really wanted to say is I forgot to do some things this summer. And so I was just thinking for my educators out there, what are some of the things that you did not have an opportunity to participate in or do this summer? So we had 6 weeks, about 6 or 7 weeks roughly off. And I was just thinking to myself, I was like, self, what did you not do this summer? And so I was just thinking of a couple of things that I did not do. And then I'm going to talk about a couple of things that I have to do to kind of finish up the summer, right? So one thing I did not do, and let me know if you're in this same boat as well. One thing I did not do was I did not travel to an international place, right? So usually my wife and I and some friends, some family, we usually go out of town and hang out and cut up and just, be friendly and just be grateful for the places that we live, but also thankful for the opportunity to get away and have a break. But this year, we did not travel to an international place. We stayed stateside, which was cool. Went to a place that we had never been before, and we also attended a family reunion. But I was just thinking, you know what? One thing I did not do this summer was go travel internationally. The passport did not get used this summer. So if you're watching the live, or if you just happen to, fumbled on this sometime this week, so I'm going to leave it up in both places. What is something, here's a call to action. Name something or identify something that you did not do this summer that you really, really wanted to do, all right? So for me, one of the things I did not do was travel internationally. Passport was in the drawer the entire summer, okay? And then the second thing that I did not do, your boy did not put his feet in some water. Usually every summer, I'm like putting my trunks on, my swim trunks, and I might do a belly flop in the pool or whatever, or if I'm in a beach or I'm doing something. Yeah, your boy kept his sandals on all summer. They did not hit a lick of water, did not touch the ocean, did not touch a pool. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm a little upset about that. I mean, the dogs are saying, hey, let us out, give us free. The dogs are saying, give us free. But I did not let the dogs in the water to hang out either by a beach or poolside. And then, I just kept my shirt on all summer. I didn't want to show my muscles didn't get seen. My muscles didn't get seen this summer. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. So I'm just reminiscing about what I did not do, but we had fun. This guy says, dude, you have a pool steps from your front door. This might be true, Mr. Woodard. However, you know what? I was thinking about that too. But I mean, there's nothing like putting your feet in some water in different areas. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, I could walk down to the pool. I could expose the muscles that I got, flex the Popeye muscles or either that or my table muscle. Okay. Table muscles, like the muscles and kind of dropped a little bit around my waist. So I call that table muscle. But yeah, you're right. I could have, but I didn't want to, man. It's nothing like going out of town to international waters and sitting by a hot springs or waterfall or something. I mean, man. So yeah, you're right. I could just go right down the way, a couple of steps, put my feet in the pool. I've done that before, but for whatever reason, this summer, I just didn't. So, and it's good to see you on here, man. I'm sorry that your boys lost last night. The Saints. Chargers look good, so we'll see. We'll see. It's good to see you on here, my man. But yes, those are two of my regrets, right? Now, Erwin, since you're here, what is something that you did not do that you wanted to do this summer? Was there a special book that sat on your bedside, nightstand, coffee table, kitchen table that you did not read? I had a couple of those. I was like, yeah, I'm going to get into that book one day. I think I read like a couple of pages of one of my books that I had purchased. Yeah, I don't think I made it through the first chapter. So your boy has to do a little bit better managing his time, because you had all this time, right? By your boy, I'm talking about me. I had all this time to kind of spend and reflect, and that's what I was doing, spending a lot of time reflecting upon my practice and also thinking about how I could spend time with family. Now, here's one more thing that I did not do that I wanted to do this summer. So I have a smoker. In my backyard. And during the 4th of July, like all of these barbecue videos just kept popping up on my timeline. So, and mostly for spare ribs, right? Spare ribs, beef ribs, or whatever. I'm the only one, well, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. We had all the kids home except for one. And so, we did ribs a couple of times, but after, it's a long process for spare ribs, right? You gotta purchase them, and then if they're frozen, you gotta let them thaw out. Then once you let them thaw out, you gotta season them. You gotta season them the right way, and then you gotta cook them, and then so it's a long process. But one of the things, and I like doing it too. Trust me, I like doing that. But one of the things I did not do was I wanted to smoke a brisket. And I did not have that opportunity to smoke a brisket. So I'm going to have to figure out, get all the stuff that I need to smoke a brisket, because that's a little bit longer of a process, especially the size, because, now my son is returning back to school. My daughter is going to school. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And so it'll be only myself, my wife, my mom, and my oldest son. Right? I eat beef. My son eats beef. I'm sure my mom will, but my wife, Riley, does not. So I don't want to get this big old piece of meat and smoke it for however long it takes, because, I don't mind. I'll eat the doggone thing up. But, I'm just thinking about her as well. Have to come up with an alternative. But that's one of the other things that I did not do this summer. Now, Erwin says he did not declutter his house. He needed to get rid of some old clothes and shoes, get my bike serviced to go riding. Absolutely. When's the last time you rode that bike, dude? I know what kind of bike you got. When's the last time you rode your bike? And then of course, you're going to say, oh, I'll be there for the brisket. I'm sure you will, sir. I'm sure you will. Daryl says, let me get this one. Hold on. We got two different systems for posting comments. Daryl says, sharing is caring. Absolutely. Sharing is caring. And, when I care, then I will share. But right now, I ain't sharing, because I ain't caring if you want any of my brisket. You know what I'm saying? He lived right down the street too. That's my dude. I might hook you up with a slice. You might get one slice. Go back to I'm going to get you a sucker rib. How much for one rib? Anyway, yeah, I might hook you up, Daryl. Don't worry. But yeah, so those are three things. Now, if you're watching right now live, like Erwin, or if you're watching the replay, let me know what 2 or 3 things that you did not do this summer that you wish you would have or could have, right? So we could have went to international waters, but the money was funny when it came down to it. So we had to, let it go away until we can. And then once we can, we will go. And then I'll be like, guess where we were? We were in Timbuktu or Tanzania or Zanzibar or Dubai or just Florida, wherever the case might be. So yeah, so those are three things that I did not do. I didn't get a chance to smoke a brisket. I didn't take my I didn't take my shirt off to get in the pool or my feet. And then we did not travel to international water. So those are three things that we did not do. All right. And then the last thing, this is going well. The last thing, because I'm not using a whole bunch of technology. The last thing is I'm really excited. I'm kind of devastated, but excited as well. So and I probably should have put a picture up. It's okay. Maybe I'll throw some pictures up on the socials, on IG, and all that kind of good stuff later on this week. But today, I spent a lot of time with my favorite daughter. And they're like, dude, you only got one daughter. That's why she's the favorite. I spent the day with my favorite daughter. So we were supposed to go to breakfast, but then something happened. She got a call to be an extra in a commercial. So instead of going to breakfast, we had breakfast on set, but today was going to be like our day to hang out. And we actually did hang out. It's kind of cool. But yeah, she is leaving the nest, as people keep asking us, hey, you have an empty nest. You got an empty nest. No, an empty nest is when the kids actually have their own address. Now, that's my definition of an empty nest, right? Other people might just think, okay, because they're off to college or they're, on studying abroad, that means you have an empty nest. No. My definition is when the kids have their own address. Now, right now, we have a kid who has his own address. Son number 2, he's doing his thing. So we can cross one off the list. But we got 3 others who kind of call home, but they kind of go away for the semester. So son number 1 is still home with us. He's a football coach. He's a special ed assistant at a local high school here, which he enjoys. So he's home with us, right? And then son number 2, of course, we just talked about him. He's doing his thing where he's doing his thing at. If you know, you know. And then son number 3, he's at Prairie View. And then the daughter, the baby of the bunch, is leaving us to go to Prairie View A&M, the same school as son number 3. So that's kind of cool. It's like a blessing and a curse, right? So the blessing is she'll have someone already there to kind of walk her around if he does that, knowing son number 3, he might not. Like, no, girl, peace out. But knowing him, he will try to guide her in the right way. So that's the blessing. The curse is, she's leaving us. I'm going to be devastated. Riley's going to be devastated. It's going to be like an empty house because, she brings a little life. Not to say that the other kids don't bring life, but, it's the baby girl. Baby girl. So we spent some time today just having some fun hanging out. And so we'll have a partially empty nest, at least for the semester, because like I said, Big Boy will be in the house, but it'll just be, Big Boy, he'll be the only kid, myself, Riley, and my mom. So my food bill will go down a little bit. I'll tell you that. The food bill should go down. The electric bill should go down. A whole bunch of things should go down in terms of utilities and things of that nature. But the heartbeat of the house is going to be gone. So, we have to get her to Prairie View. And if you're watching it live, and this is for Erwin, if you're still here. Erwin, if you're still here, do you know what A&M means in Prairie View, A&M? Now, Prairie View is in Texas. It's probably about an hour away from Houston. And, if you're watching, let me know in the comments if you know what the A&M means in Prairie View, A&M. Here's Erwin is still watching. He says, she hit me up yesterday to tell me when she's leaving. I told her I was coming through tomorrow or Wednesday. Absolutely, that's what's up. Yeah, come on through. Come on through. Have some fun. Now, are you back at work? Now, Erwin is a good family friend. He's also an educator. I believe they started last week. But yeah, come through, bro. You know where we are. You're welcome to come through. Break bread. Now, don't come in empty-handed. You got to come in, kick her down with a couple of things. Give her a couple of coins. Give her a couple of coins. And here's the sad thing. The sad thing is she has to move in on Saturday, and her birthday is Friday. So we're going to be traveling, and she's going to be like, okay, happy birthday. She already had a birthday bash, right? We already spent goo gobs of money, and, she like, y'all going to do anything for my birthday? Girl, what? We're going to be traveling. I'm going to be on the road. I'm going to sing happy birthday and give you a cupcake, and we're just going to mosey on down the road. That's a trip. Now, but really, how do you celebrate someone's 18th birthday on the road? And we got to be really creative to kind of do that and celebrate her. But yeah, she's going away to college, and this will be, she's left the house several times before to attend conferences and things of that nature. That's not the issue. The issue is it's baby girl. It's baby girl. Okay, so Erwin is chiming in on the answer that I posed. It's like, hey, do you know what A&M means? And A&M actually means agriculture and mechanical. Now, did you Google that? Dude, let me go full screen on you, man. Did you Google that? Or did you know it off the top of the head? Come on, man. Tell me the truth. I want to know. Anybody could have Googled it, right? And then Erwin says, let me go back over here. He says, we've been back. Okay, we've been back since the first. Kids, come on. Dang, y'all, 18th. Y'all got a lot of PD. Man, that's next week. I know you tired of hearing. I know you tired of hearing people talking and going through policies and procedures and whatnot and this, that, and the third. Man, y'all don't start until the 18th. That's crazy. That's next week. We start this week. Let me see. That's crazy, bro. The 18th. So that's Monday. You know what? Here, to your comment, dude, and we'll go back to the A&M question. I just wish everybody would be on the same exact time schedule for school. Like, everyone across the United States should be going back the day after Labor Day. Can we make education great again? How about that? Can we make education great again and all go back on the same exact day? Now, I know certain states have a certain amount of days that they require to finish school. Like, for instance, Los Angeles Unified, we have a 182-day schedule. But, man, can that 182 days start the day after Labor Day across the board? I know some started a couple of weeks ago. I think someone told me, my niece told me that her son started, last week or maybe 2 weeks. They're already 2 weeks in Phoenix. And it's like the hottest time of the summer. That's crazy. Man. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Let's go over here. He says, no, I'm smart. I'm an educator. Okay, you knew that. But he says, and that was to the question, me asking him, did he Google the answer or did he know it, what A&M meant? And then he says, I cuss every day sending those memes I've heard for the last 5 years at my spot. Yeah, sometimes you go over the same stuff every single year. It's just a constant, hey, make sure you get your letters in, make sure you put your rules up, make sure you contact the parents, this policy, that policy. Yeah, usually it's the same kind of stuff. There's almost never no new things unless you're breaking down data, right? If you're breaking down data, got it. We take all these standardized tests, and so the results come back, and so we'll say, hey, let's give it up for fifth grade. They scored 10% better than the previous year. Okay, yay! Or let's give it up for third grade. They didn't do so well. They were supposed to get 10% better or 15% better. They only ended up getting 10% better on their test scores. Okay, so they need to work a little hard. And, talk about strategy and this, that, and the third to reach out to the parents and the kids and, what is recess going to look like. Yes, this is pretty much the same thing, so I get you. It is very, very crazy when some of those things come up, and it's repetitive every single year at the beginning of the year. Make sure you have some participation protocols. Basically, that means how you're going to interact, engage with the kids, either during discussion and making sure they're answering questions. You're not just calling on the same person at the same time. You're not just calling on the smartest dude or the smartest girl. You kind of make sure that you're going to spread it out equally amongst the kids and, just how they're going to talk to one another, rules of the classroom, lining up procedures, going to the bathroom, all that kind of good stuff. We hear it all the time at the beginning of the school year. So that's kind of what he's talking about. But yeah, man, so, I'm excited because it's, I'm out of the classroom again, second year in a row, restorative justice, doing what I think I'm beginning to like a little bit more than being an early childhood special educator. And so, yeah, but for me, job one is to make sure that I get my room up and running. So you got to follow me on the socials, okay? So let me go ahead and post the social accounts that you can follow me. Bam! There I am. Okay. So those two up there, Mr. Riley's World, at Mr. Riley's World for Instagram and on the Facebook. Or although if, you just put in James Riley on Facebook, you'll find me. At Mr. Riley's World on YouTube. And then I got the TikTok where I have just everything that I do in terms of reels and all that kind of good stuff. I produce it on TikTok. And then I use that same tool. I really use it as a tool to produce my reels or whatnot. And then I'll put it over on Instagram and I'll put it over on Facebook, right? And then sometimes if it's YouTube short worthy, I'll put it on the YouTube shorts shelf is what they call it. So, if you're following me on all of those platforms and you're probably tired of seeing me and my mug and talking about what I'm doing and having fun and all that kind of good stuff. But here's the thing about it too. So yesterday I was at church. I was at worship service. Let me get this one out of here, this response. It's not going to go away. I want you to go away. Okay, hold on. I want you to go away, so let's do something. Hold on. So I hate sometimes when the technology doesn't do the technology thing that it's supposed to do, so I'm going to clear everything, and it's still there. You know what? Let's just go to a different scene. Okay, there we go. So here's the funny thing. So a couple of weeks ago, I posted that I hang out with Hot Wheels. Me and Hot Wheels, that's my jam. Sometimes I'll pull up my Hot Wheels and I'm throwing them down the track and doing loop-de-loops and running around on the floor and down the stairs or whatever. And so yesterday at church, a friend of mine sent me a Hot Wheel. And I didn't think twice as to why she sent me a Hot Wheel. I knew automatically because I had posted that your boy dabbles in Hot Wheels. As a matter of fact, I used to keep some Hot Wheels on my desk. But yeah, so I got a Hot Wheel. And so I just want to say thank you, Charlene. Appreciate you for sending the Hot Wheel. And if you're watching, that's a personal thank you. But even if you're not, I'm going to send you a text. Just to be like, I'm just going to say thank you. And you're automatically going to know why I said thank you, because you sent that doggone Hot Wheel, right? So I appreciate that. But yeah, man, just a little nervous about baby girl leaving. I know it's going to be all kind of tears shed by her, by the fam bam. I mean, she's already shed some tears. She's going to shed some more. I might shed a tear. Your boy might. I mean, come on. This is my favorite daughter. You know what I'm saying? So, I just real skeptical. I'm like, maybe I need to hang around Prairie View A&M for a little bit. Mr. Riley up in the piece. With a piece. You know what I'm saying, Daryl? Because, folks can be cruel or whatnot. So we want to make sure that she has the best experience at the school. And, so I'm just a little concerned about that. I want to make sure she does well and, enjoys herself as she moves into adulthood, right? Relying on herself more and less of us because we're going to be 21 hours away. So that's why I said, it's a good thing, it's a blessing and a curse because she'll have her older brother there. But then the curse is like we can't get to her, if something happens as quick as we need to, right? So, and that's the curse with kids moving out in general, right? Once they leave the nest, once the nest is empty and they kind of grow up and mature, you can't reach them when you want to if something happens. And so we always think about, what if something happens? Well, what if something good happens? You want to be there to celebrate as well. It's just not one-sided. So, Daryl says, okay, good. Let me see if this is going to work over here. Daryl says, I know that feeling because I had 2 daughters leave and go to college. Absolutely. Now, I think both your girls were close by, correct? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so his girl stayed in California, up the coast a little bit. But, mine is like, 21 hours. 2 plane rides on Southwest. So, all he got to do is hop in the Mustang, zoom. He can be there. I'm like, dang, we need to, can you? So those of you who are watching, I got some people up there in Houston, in the Houston area, and I got a pretty nice young man up there I've known for quite some time. He's a bigwig on campus. So I'm gonna reach out to you, Ski, to make sure you keep an eye on my daughter, and I know you will. So, man, just anxious about the new stuff that's about to happen for us, being almost empty nesters, and then also being happy and excited for the daughter, for the kids, as they continue to mature and, begin to live their life, right? So on their own, without, me having to knock on the door, hey, you got to wake up. It's time to go. Nah. If you sign up for an 8 o'clock class, guess what time you need to be up? You need to be up so you can get that class, right? And I think I already talked to her. She has a couple of online classes and she has some in-person classes. And, she's real nervous about meeting folks. She has a couple of friends that she already knows who attends the college, but she's real nervous about, meeting her roommate and, setting up her room and doing all this kind of stuff. So it's a happy, but it's like, I'm happy, but I'm also kind of like, oh man, this is I'm gonna leave a piece of my heart in Texas. So that's what's going on with that. Let me see. I'm going on, for about 38. Okay. So my only thing is, I just wanted to share those thoughts and kind of test out, making sure that my comments were working, testing out all the platforms, making sure everything is well. And so what I'll do is I'll begin to really put together, a 7 o'clock stream for about 30 minutes. And then football season is also coming up. So I probably will continue to do my thing with Pally football. And so my thought is if I come into the studio, share something over here on the Riley World podcast, and then immediately once I'm done, go ahead and produce that show for those who are fans and supporters of Pally football. So last year we did that. Usually we'll start around 7:30. And so we're going to try to make that happen again. And so for the next couple of days, next week I probably won't go live because I won't be here. But the following Monday, we'll share what we did over the summer. We went to Savannah, had never gone to Savannah before, and it was quite an adventure. If you know what Savannah is known for, now let's see if you know this, Erwin. Since you're smart, what is Savannah mostly known for? And don't Google it either. Yeah, how's that? What is Savannah mostly known for? So we went, spent some time by the riverfront in Savannah, and then we went to a family reunion, and so that was fun, just having an opportunity to see family and friends that we hadn't seen in quite some time. So, so like I said, we kind of forego going international, but staying here because, like I said, we never been to Savannah. We wanted to do something different, so we stayed stateside. And then right after that, we just kind of moseyed up the road a little bit up to South Carolina, South Kakalaki, hung out with family and friends for a couple of days, and it was fun. It was fun. So I have some content that I haven't dropped on the socials, on the IG, on the Facebook, on the TikTok, and on what's this place? YouTube. Usually I'll do like a video comprising videos and photos of the trip. I haven't done that yet. So I need to get to work. I need to get to work and really focus on doing some stuff so that way you guys can see what we did over the summer. All right. I think I'm good. Now, I'm not going to put in, I'm waiting for Erwin to see if he's still watching. He might be watching over here on the Facebook. Erwin, do you know? And don't be trying to Google it either. Talking about, oh, I'm smart. Yeah, I know you're smart. You're smart enough to Google it. That's and go get that bike done, man. Go get that bike service. Matter of fact, I'm right with you, man. And here's my last thing. I should have taken my road bike to get service as well. And I should have did it at the beginning, sometime in the spring, because like every week I wake up, I'm like, okay, I need to go take it to the bike shop because I have where I purchased my bike, lifetime service, but it hasn't been serviced in a couple of years, and I haven't rode my bike in a couple of years. So that's another thing that I could have done over the summer. I could have probably got rid of some of this table muscle that I'm looking at right here, right? Instead of chest muscle, I got table muscle, right? So I'm sure you can figure out that analogy. But yeah, that was another thing that I did not do this summer, which is get my bike kind of serviced. And then I could have met you on the bike path with your bike, with all its bells and whistles. And then, me, you, and Kelvin could have rode down the bike path in Venice or whatever sometime during the summer. But other than that, yeah, I think I'm good tonight. I'm kind of feeling excited, rejuvenated that all the techie stuff is working finally. And then I'll probably do some things as it relates to my school. I have another podcast that I'm interested in setting up. And actually, I did do an episode. Maybe I'll drop it in this particular group. And, you can see what I'm doing for my school. I call it the BSAP breakdown because I am a BSAP teacher. And so BSAP stands for, what does it stand for? Woo! Black Student Achievement Plan or Program. That's what BSAP, that's what it stands for. With BSAP, they have 4 or 5 different teachers or facilitators with the program. So each school is supposed to have an RJ teacher, which is what I do, a PSW, which basically is a person who makes sure that our black kids are coming to school, like an attendance counselor. We also have a PSW, which is a psychiatric social worker, because we have some students who need some, they need some extra help, not only them, their families. And so we have a PSW who kind of helps facilitate that. If there's some issues with, needing counseling and things of that nature, the PSW is able to do that. Then we also have a parent rep who kind of, bridges the gap between the school and and the home. Then we also have our school climate advocate, which is someone who does fun things with the students, not only our BSAP students, but the whole student population, but really geared towards our BSAP students. And then we also have our principal involved, and we have a coordinator who comes in, checks on us, makes sure that that we're doing everything that we need to do. And I think that's all of the components of the BSAP program. Yeah, so you got the RJ, which is me. You have the PSW, the PSA, the parent rep, and the school climate advocate. And then, of course, like I said, the principal and all that kind of good stuff. All righty. Other than that, I'm going to stop rambling here. And I guess I didn't see a comment as it relates to the question that I had posed a couple of minutes ago, which was, what is Savannah known for? And if you don't know, Savannah is known for being the spookiest, or the city, the town that has a lot of ghosts, right? The most haunted city in America. That is the kind of side motto that Savannah hangs its hat on, right? However, after experiencing, and I'll leave you on this note, after going through Savannah, because, it's just a wonderful story in how that particular city was created, based on what has happened there historically with slavery and all that other kind of stuff. And here's a fun fact. Fun fact, this particular city, the developer, the organizer, the one who created the city, he initially said, hey, we want to create the city, but we don't want to have slavery. There were like 4 different things that he did not want. But eventually, because of the people who kind of moved there, and then over time, of course, it was one of the last cities to actually, have slaves come in. But, just some of the things that went on in Savannah, historically, one of the tour guides mentioned that it's no wonder that Savannah is one of the haunted cities in America, is because of all the foolishness that had happened during the slave times. There's buildings put up over, burial grounds and things of that nature. And so, our African-American tour guide, she's like, look, I'm here, I'm a truth teller. And she's like, look, one of the reasons why it's haunted is because, some of these officials over time did the enslaved people, treated them very, very wrong. And so, her thought was like, no wonder it's a spooky city, because, these ghosts or these spirits are coming back, and, they giving y'all a run for the money. So that was one thought. I do see one comment. Oh, okay. He said he could have Googled it. I'm glad you didn't, sir. Thank you. Now you know. But yeah, Savannah's a super, super nice town, and it has some amazing food. I had this thing called, and then really, I'm gonna leave you with this. I had this thing called a soul bowl. Now, the soul bowl was good. The soul bowl was amazing. Let me tell you what the soul bowl had. Imagine, and this is for dinner. Imagine a bowl of grits, right, with some cheese, not cheddar cheese. I think it was like pimento cheese or whatever. I mean, the grits were nice and creamy, super, super awesomely good. Okay, so you got the grits and the cheese. On top of that, you had some pulled pork. Okay, so you got grits, little layer of cheese, got some pulled pork. On top of the pulled pork, you got some collard greens that were cooked to perfection. Super, super good. And then on top of the greens, two onion rings. And you'd be like, ugh, that don't sound too good. Nah. Let me tell you, this thing was delicious. It was good. It was amazing. Amazing. And so, when you go to these shops, when you go to these restaurants, you don't want to get this, oh, I had a hamburger. No. You want to get something different. And so I did. I was like, because I was really feeling a hamburger. But, when you go to the South, you don't want the same stuff that you can get in Chicago or Detroit or Pittsburgh. I ain't want a hamburger. You go ahead and get that Soul Bowl. And that Soul Bowl was banging. So, what I'll do, maybe I'll post a picture on the social so you can see what I told you. I got a gang of stuff to put out. So I'm gonna continue with my challenge once school begins, probably beginning next week. So I got a lot of stuff, personal stuff, school-related stuff, personal stuff, summer stuff. I got stuff. So just know that your boy's about to be posting a whole bunch of stuff. All right. Man, I'm glad we made it through. Hey, do me a favor. If you kind of watch it on YouTube, and I should have like a little, thing that kind of floats across the screen. Hey, do me a favor. Here's your call to action. If you're watching on YouTube, like the video, comment, and then you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. Now, when I first checked a couple of minutes ago, I was at 799 subscribers. So if you have not subscribed, hey, Daryl, answer the phone real quick. Hold on, son. Here, it's Savior. If you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please take a moment and do so. I would really, really appreciate that. And I'm wondering who's going to be subscriber number 800. And then if you're on Facebook, I appreciate you. Just go ahead and leave a comment and share it if you want to. But yeah, I think your boy is done. I think everything went super awesomely tonight. And of course, you can find me on all of the socials. Let me see if I have my, boom, there you go. That's where you can find your boy. TikTok, Mr. Riley's World, YouTube, Mr. Riley's World, and Instagram and Facebook, Mr. Riley's World with the number 1. All right. Other than that, I appreciate y'all watching. And let me go ahead. I think I created a scene for it. It's not. Oh, you're not gonna work for me today? Okay. All right. That's cool. So there we go. All right. We're finished up. We're wrapping up, and yeah. Hopefully, I'll catch you in the next video. This is Mr. Riley coming to you live from the West Coast, the best coast, the West Side. See you later. Enjoy your day. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace.